There are a lot of stacker videos out there, but today I'm going to focus on very important specific features of ATC's Rōm 750S, which is their premier stacker model. Let's go. Hey, before I start on the features of this awesome stacker behind me, I wanted to take a moment and talk to you about competition. There's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of other dealers outside of Complete Trailers. Of course, we're located in Colorado, Texas, and California. We can drop ship right from the factory in Indiana directly to you. But there are a lot of dealers out there that will tell you that they can sell you a stacker, but they just don't know the ins and outs like we do. So not coming from an egotistical standpoint, but coming from a place where we want to provide to you the absolute top-notch, best customer service we possibly can. So if you reach out to us directly, we can ship directly to you, to your front door. You can pick up at one of our convenient locations. You can even pick up at the factory. We've got very competitive shipping rates nationwide, and give us a call, give us a shot, at least get a competitive quote from us if you're looking at ATC or Intex stackers going down the line. Now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at the rear of the trailer. Now, we coated the very rear of the trailer, and this is custom built for a very good customer of ours, Chris and Ashley. You know who you are, thank you very much. They have bought pretty much every type of trailer you could possibly buy from us over the past several years, so we really appreciate their business. And this is an awesome custom stacker that worked with Chris in depth on to get the options right, so I think you're gonna enjoy it. The very rear is coated with stainless steel. Now, the beautiful thing about that is it's awesome, it's stainless. That includes the header above the ramp door itself, and the spoiler that's above the ramp door and above the header. The problem with the stainless is people might hate you at night when they're following you with their headlights on, but one customer told me one time that, hey, when I've got stainless on my ramp door, people don't tailgate me as close as they normally would. And I think that's a valid point. So stainless steel is a possibility at the very rear of the trailer here. Okay, now this trailer has stainless steel paddle latches. Now, the important thing to note about the paddle latches is you still have to put a padlock here. There is an upgraded feature that is a recessed cam lock that goes into the door that's got a keyed lock. I like those a lot as well. But it does weaken the door in that particular spot where it's mounted. We'll put an overlay photo of that as well. But we're gonna drop the ramp door down. And there's a very specific reason that we're going to take a look at here in just a moment as to why ATC car stackers are superior to literally every other stacker on the market. Now, when I've got the ramp door open, there's a little flywheel bolt here that you undo. That keeps the ramp extension housed against the ramp door, and there's a little tuck-away hideaway spot here on the inside of this ramp flap, so you don't lose that, because that's what happens all the time. But it's nice because this ramp flap has adjustable bumpers on the rear, so you can adjust the height depending on how level your ground is. This is a 84-inch wide, 4-foot long ramp extension that we're looking at here. Now, just running through quick accessories or specs on this trailer. Stackers always come in a .050, or at least we spec it that way. Absolute must. If you do black, I'd almost recommend trying to get a 6.0 in terms of exterior thickness. Now, perimeter skirting package, option for Alcoa wheels. These are an upgrade. They're about $800 a piece just to upgrade. So they're not an inexpensive option to add, but they look awesome, and especially if you've got a Renegade, for example, they might match your coach. There is a turn signal here just above this middle fender, and your gasoline intake. Now, we've optioned it with a locking fuel door that is optional. Once again, a lot of people aren't gonna really know what's out there in terms of accessories. We do this all the time. Call us. It's a shameless plug again. There's a receptacle on the outside of the trailer. Your standard side door. Now, this opens up with a door hold back and a pull-out step. These are all standard features once again. Now, one thing I really wanted to point out is this Girard awning. You've seen a lot of our 12-volt awnings that have arms that are on the side of the trailer. The beautiful thing about a Girard is it's a lateral arm. So we're going to demo that here so you can take a look. It's not an inexpensive accessory as well. Girard awnings can be $10,000 to $15,000 depending on the length. Some people even opt for 2 Girard awnings, but beautiful lateral arm awning that that comes out. It's got a wind and a rain sensor on it. And when this opens up, it provides really nice shade. It's blackout is the color of the vinyl. Okay, now this is a very important feature as well. We've got a full height tongue box on the front of this stacker. Now typically tongue boxes come completely squared off. Chris actually wanted to option for it to where it matches the front of the stacker itself. So it's got your stainless steel corners, obviously stone guard, and a radius at the top of the tongue box. So it really matches the stacker nicely. It's also an upgraded feature for a full height tongue box. Now in the bottom you can house a generator. This particular compartment houses batteries. We open up the middle compartment and there's a spare tire that's also on an Alcoa wheel. So it's got easy access in case you have a blowout or a flat on the side of the road. And then the top compartment is where the condenser is housed for the mini split system that we'll talk about here in just a minute. Now the driver's side of the trailer, this compartment door here is a fueling station available in 40 or 80 gallons of fuel. We can add this to any build, and of course we do it a lot in the Southwest for our desert guys. We can also add water tanks on board with a water spigot. If you've seen our channel before, you've seen a lot of videos. We do a lot of belly lift stackers and we do a lot of water and fuel stations. Now the escape door is a triple axle, full access escape door. So the fender well comes out. There's a ton of videos with trailers showing how this operates, so I didn't necessarily need to show how that's demoed. Really nice look at the Alcoa wheels, and in between the fenders there's a small step, which is really nice. You can just step out of your vehicle. But the magic of this trailer and what makes ATC's car stackers amazing is the tilt lift. It's an entirely aluminum tilt lift that was researched and developed hundreds of hours by ATC, and you can actually tilt it, which is amazing for low profile vehicles. Every other company out there takes a stinger lift, which is a steel lift. It's a lot heavier, and they install it into their stackers, on the wall mounted posts that they put in. This aluminum tilt lift is really unique because we can tilt it, and I want to show you the mechanism of how that operates. But if you're looking for a car trailer, and if you think the tilt lift is the way to go, then there's no better stacker than ATC. Now we do a lot of belly lifts as well for off-road cars. Now the feature and the benefit of a belly lift, you lift from the belly of the car, the tires hang off the side of the belly lift. So we'll see that in other videos that we do as well. But in terms of a traditional car stacker, and I keep pointing that out because there is no better lift on the market than ATC's tilt lift that we're taking a look at. Okay, now on the inside of the trailer, white walls, white ceiling, rubber coin floor. It's also available in extruded aluminum. And by the way, we can go all the way out to 108 wide. Traditionally, a body of a trailer is 100 inches wide. We can do a 108 wide if you sign a waiver. But keep that in mind, if you got something really wide, we are your go-to place. We do this all the time. Now, there's carpeting on the walls. There's also ATC's beautiful Life Track system. They've got a ton of accessories that clip into the Life Track all throughout the trailer, and they've got a whole catalog of accessories that you can clip in and mount to this track system. Now at the very rear of the trailer above the ramp door, we've got a hose reel here. You drop that down just like you would see at any sort of oil change station, and that's what's set up right there. So really beautiful hose reel here. We've got some outlets throughout the trailer, also one on the exterior next to the entrance door. There's a hose outlet access point there as well, so you just can plug in your air tools and you're fired up right on the outside. Now, a couple of notes on the lift platform itself. Entirely aluminum, capacity is 6,000 pounds on this platform, so it's really heavy duty. There's airline track that's placed all around the perimeter and on the inside, and even around these lift inserts. Now, the lift inserts are additional. You can only have 1,500 pounds on this lift insert at any time, but you can access your car from underneath the lift if you wanted to by removing these lift inserts. So again, beautiful lift platform and R&D by ATC. Okay, so currently I've got the lift in the up position. Now I wanted to demo and show you how does this actually tilt. So I'm going to hold this red button. I'm going to lower the lift. Now, if you see these stops that are along inside of this channel, when I get to the last stop, I'm simply going to release the red button, and the lift is going to tilt automatically because the front of the lift is sitting on that last stop. So there's no stop in the rear, which allows it to tilt down and gives us that feature of the tilt lift. Now, of course, there's a ladder with an access hatch where you can access the attic here. This attic is rated for 20 pounds per square foot. And if we go up here into the attic itself, you're going to see more carpeting. You're going to see some airline track on the walls. You're going to see some airline track on the platform itself up here, the attic floor, so that you can tie down some stuff. So if you could put a couple of dirt bikes up here, or whatever you want to put up here that'll fit, then you've got plenty of space up here for storage. Now on the wall here, you're going to notice that there's a mini split system. So mini split systems are very specific for stackers. We have customers with standardized, lower profile trailers that ask about mini splits, and in that case, I typically recommend 1 or 2 or even 3 roof-mounted AC units. And the reason for that is roof-mounted AC units are really easy to replace. They're $1,500, couple grand, and if one goes out on you, you can put a new one in. Versus a mini split system, if you do a 2-zone, it could be $14,000, $15,000 for a 2-zone mini split system. And of course, you've got the condenser on the front. But with a stacker height, and I know I'm rolling through this quickly, so if you have to rewind this and listen to it again, that's the whole reason I'm kind of talking fast. But with the stacker height, there is no room on the roof for roof-mounted air conditioning units, so we have to put it on the front. Now, the old school technology is a barge system. It's a 1 or a 2-ton barge system. It's kind of no longer. Everybody's switched over to mini splits, so this is kind of the standardized feature here on stackers if you want to heat and cool the inside of this trailer. Just while we're up here, I wanted to point out, these LED lights, these 4-foot runs of LED lights front to back that ATC offers, but also this stacker cove lighting. Now, these are on independent switches, so you can turn these off in the center and turn these cove mounted lights on, but they're angle mounted into what we call the cove. That's where the wall meets the ceiling. I call it the crown molding of a trailer. But stacker cove lighting really helps eliminate shadows when you've got a car up on top here and you turn on some lights and you're trying to get rid of that those shadows, if you will, when you're trying to tie down this car. So underneath the lift platform, you're going to take a look and see the extrusion from underneath. Now, if you look closely, these are little tiny I-beams. So it's a really stout, bomb-proof way to build frame structure, especially flooring. So that's what the extruded aluminum flooring looks like underneath if you had that on your regular floor. So really awesome use of the extruded aluminum, and of course these lift inserts. You can see where we can access a car from underneath the trailer if we wanted to work on it when we're on site. Now, there are some LED lights here underneath this lift. I'm going to turn these on real quick so you can see what those like. It's just LED strip lighting that's glued or taped underneath here, underneath the lift. And one other point on the lift inserts is you would have to lift these out if you wanted to remove them to access your vehicle. So you have to manually, it's usually a 2-person job, so they're kind of heavy, but you have to manually lift these out and take them out. So some people will leave these if they know they're going to work on their car in their garage at home, or if you just don't know, you have them in so you can park motorcycles or whatever on top of it. But just thought I'd mention that real quick. All right, now the main floor is comprised of coin rubber. Now that is glued on top of regular plywood. There's no way to adhere coin rubber to aluminum, so they have to add a layer of plywood. This is 3/4 inch. Now the concern is, hey, there's wood in this trailer. If you look underneath this trailer, it's coated underneath. I almost call it like a house wrap. The black material that's on after the insulation before the siding goes on, that's what it looks like underneath. So the plywood is not exposed from underneath the trailer. One really nice thing that Intech does is they put a piece of aluminum underneath the floor as well. But both companies do offer coin rubber flooring, depending on what you want for your specific use. You've got recessed airline track in the floor here, as well as some D-rings. Now, 3 rows of airline track are great because you can put motorcycles in here, cars. It's really a multi-use functionality with the airline track with 3 strips of it here. Now, going forward, cabinets in the front. You can see our ladder here with the open hatch going into the attic. But cabinets, we've got a drawer insert right next to the entrance door. The reason we do that there is so you can reach in and grab some tools. A lot of people make mistakes and they put the drawer inserts over here and they've got to get in the trailer every time they want to get some tools. So put them next to the entrance door. Underneath this base cabinet here, we've got a winch with what we call a mouse hole. and a kick plate underneath the cabinet. So that's how you access your winch cable, through that hole that's underneath the cabinet there. And there's of course a shelf. So there's an aluminum shelf here, nice cabinetry and storage, as well as overhead cabinets that are top hinged. You flip this up, you've got nice beautiful storage underneath here, as well as an LED strip light underneath the overhead cabinet. Now I will also mention that receptacles throughout that are run 110 volt. This trailer is not equipped with a generator. I believe Chris and Ashley are just going to plug it into their Renegade. But here's another airline hose outlet here. So that's another access point for air tools if you wanted to use it. Now I wanted to point out too, a lot of people ask us which we think is better, Intech or ATC, in terms of car trailers and stackers in general. And because we carry both at our locations, I feel like we are entitled to an opinion. You know, it's always the dealer that carries one or the other, and they trash talk the other one, which is really funny to me. We carry both, and really we need to help guide you based on what your specific use is. So in terms of standardized car trailers and a stacker, and if a tilt lift would be ideal for you if you got a low profile car, really there's no better stacker than ATC. In terms of belly lift, depending on your use and what you'd like to see in terms of features and functions of the trailer, that shift, in our opinion, might be over to Intech. So reach out to us, we're professionals, we're going to help guide you through the process. There are a number of factors too that tie in with selecting which is the best fit for you. It might be time frame, it might be what's in stock if you're looking for something right away, it might be from a cost standpoint. So chances are we can take a look at both, and again, we'll help guide you through that. Both are amazing trailers, and we're honored to be carrying both of them at our stores. Now, if you like what you've seen here, like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more content coming up.